Hello, my name is Roberto Zambrana. I am from Edge360 alongside my colleague David Dolnick. We create smart solutions. We create smart solutions, and we came to Hackathon to deal with the conflict of traffic. You don't need to be a data scientist or data analyst or even a traffic analyst to understand that there's traffic. You don't need to worry about streetlights. You don't need to worry about anything. You just have a good understanding that there is traffic. What to do with that information, right? We don't look at small things, rather we look at the big picture. But what we want to do is we want to implement a solution where we have a simulation where machine learning constantly passes different configurations to then finally get a score to have a better understanding how to improve traffic. What is machine learning? Well, machine learning is the process of teaching software based on experience to then later improve the final outcome. We will be using reinforcement learning, and where we are going to we're going to allow our system to learn from experience and give a better score to systems that allow traffic throughput to be more efficient and pretty much dispose of configurations that pretty much cause congestion. What can we do with machine learning? Well, in this system, Google decided to make somewhat of a machine learning system where they wanted to have an entity move from point A to point B, but they didn't really care about small details. They just mainly cared about the overall object itself. So in the end, it had one score and one goal to go from one point to the next point. And that's what we try to do here. We are also going to be using simulation where we're going to recreate a small environment where we're going to be running these different configurations so that we can get an outcome score out of it. Our solution is pretty straightforward. We have a simulation that's going to be constantly running in different trials and giving us back a score. And then our machine learning algorithm is then going to go ahead and define whether or not the score was efficient and then proceed and change its scores over and over again. How we achieve this? Simulation, reinforcement, machine learning. As you can see in the system, we know that there's traffic here. Right? We don't need to understand the specific details on an intersection. We just know that there's traffic because we see the data, and then the data, we can see that there's traffic. And if we run this through our algorithms, then we end up with a score of 50. But the point is that now we're going to be pushing this data constantly and simulating different scenarios such that we improve the traffic output and then in the end have a better score. The amount of time vehicles traveled, how we define the score is by the amount of vehicles traveled unhindered by the congestion.
Okay, so we're going to show you the simulation part of this project that we got running. We also have a prototype of the machine learning system that controls the simulation. Essentially what we were changing was the traffic light durations, the amount of time that it was green for any specific traffic light at any given moment. This is the... Where's the demo? Is it down? Okay. Yeah, so this is the simulation that we hacked together. And you know, we essentially don't care about the fine details or you know, if there's a crash happening or anything like that. We just want to look at the overall movement of traffic. You know, of course, there are mitigating circumstances. There's situations where it's going to cause traffic regardless. But as a big picture, we don't need to look at that. We just need to look at the overall flow of traffic, right? And so that was the goal of using simulations to look at the overall flow of traffic, and then using a machine learning program to run that simulation thousands of times with different traffic light configurations. So here you're not seeing any machine learning. This is just running the simulation in real time. But the algorithm's going to run it, and output a score like you guys saw, the 70% or the 50%. And again, that's just the amount of time that the car was able to move unhindered by traffic congestion. All right. So, any questions?
Was that simulation based on real data then? Was that a real intersection?
Yeah. So we feed the the street light duration. So how long that a street light is going to be green, and we also feed the amount of traffic per road based on the Virginia Department of Transportation map. So this guy right here.
Which road was this? Where was it? Okay.
Yeah, so this was the,
Well, that was the simulation that you ran. Was that
Yes.
off of?
yes. It was definitely somewhat abstracted, just to make it more simple, or to get the proof concept.
Yeah, we threw it together in 2 days, but it's
It looked like you had multiple lanes.
Yeah, that's why we abstracted it, so we could have a proof of concept at this point.
yeah. I mean, ultimately, the lane just means it's double the amount of space on that road for. So the congestion variable would be divided by 2 at that point, right?
Oh.
Because it has 2 times the space.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, this is just an idea right now.
Right, right, no.
Ultimately, you know.
So did you start with VDOT signal timings, or did you just make something up to start with and then iterate from there?
Yeah, first we started with just a run standard time, and then from there, that point on, we just started letting the machine learning configure the traffic light duration, and in the end, we come up with
But you
better.
started with the VDOT timings from the database, or not?
No, we started, well, no.
No, okay.
That was an initial thought. I guess we didn't do that in practice.
Okay.
But
Fine.
yeah, I think if we did continue this project in the future, we would be looking at improving the simulation so it's a lot more accurate to the real world. Maybe we could use agents, you know, which would be really cool. So,
Tell me what was the learning that came out of this, let's say the computer learning and then your own, as it pertains to the timing of the lights?
okay, so essentially the computer learning is going to look at, you know, we start off with the default configuration of all the lights, and that would be the real world application. You know, the lights are going to turn green, you know, say at this intersection for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, whatever. And then it's going to change the lights every iteration. It'll, you know, make them last longer, make them shorter, and then see what the overall impact is on the flow between all of the roads. And that's how we generate the score, is does it affect all of the roads in the surrounding area if we manipulate it by a small amount. And we're using the reinforcement learning to essentially build a like a generational hierarchy, essentially. You know, if the child of the original parent is successful, if it has you know, a better overall score of the entire road, we continue that generation downward,
Yeah.
and then we try more configurations.
And does just again, I get
Yep.
proof of concept, but
Yep.
in your proof of concept, and you made some adjustments,
Yep.
was there anything in your proof of concept that you could tell us about traffic light control?
Not at this point. We did not have enough time.
Yeah.
We were.
Our machine learning basically isn't entirely finished. It's close, but it's not running full.
Jen, could we stay up until midnight tonight?
Sure.
We need to answer.
Okay. Yep.
All right, thank you.